Nearly 27 years on, the Montreal Screwjob continues to be one of the most talked about iconic moments in professional wrestling history. The life-changing impact it's had on the futures of those directly and indirectly involved are incredible. From Bret Hart, who ended up having a damp squib of a run in WCW, Shawn Michaels, who had that career resurgence later on in his career, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Vince McMahon, and the list goes on. That is why today, Adam, we have decided to take some time out of our busy wrestling viewing schedule to jump in the Outlawrean and rebook what might have happened had it been a work all along. So, Adam, are you ready to jump into the Outlawverse to go to 1997?
I am ready. 27 years has kind of freaked me out. Were you watching wrestling when this happened?
No.
I don't think I was either. I think I came back in maybe like 98 to watching again. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that sounds about right for me, similar. After WrestleMania 14, for me, when people were going about saying suck it and all that, and I was like, what is this? This is cool. So we're rebooking. We're getting our fantasy booking hat on again, and we're gonna jump into the vortex. We've got some pretty clear parameters. We're going to start at Survivor Series 1997. We will aim to finish round about WrestleMania 14. Yeah?
Yep.
We had originally aimed to finish around WrestleMania 15, but unfortunately, we don't have 7 hours to podcast for. So
we also have like jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I have to tell you, I've never received so many notes, messages, questions, queries from Adam about any podcast episode we've ever done before.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been really, really invested in this.
Yeah, I think it broke me at a point because like I went in with clear ideas of what I wanted to come out with, and then I think booking wrestling is quite difficult because.
No.
I couldn't, there were bits I couldn't tie up, and, I kept looking at, what really happened on this show, and I'm like, well, actually, I can scrap 75% of that, but I need this, but I need to use it in a very different way from what it was. Oh, yeah, it was a lot.
And and it's only on paper. Can you imagine dealing with the personalities and the money, the salaries, the just people being unreliable?
Oh.
The politicking.
Yeah.
Please don't ever put all that money that you've got set aside. Don't you be the next Tony Khan. Just keep the money for yourself. Okay, are you ready to jump in the Outlawrean?
Yeah, let's do this.
Right, get in. Put your belt on. Got it?
Yep.
Right. Yep. JR, take it away.
Let's cut right to the chase. 7 days ago at the Survivor Series, did you or did you not screw Bret Hart?
Some would say I screwed Bret Hart. Bret Hart would definitely tell you I screwed him. I look at it from a different standpoint. I look at it from the standpoint of the referee did not screw Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels certainly did not screw Bret Hart. Nor did Vince McMahon screw Bret Hart. I truly believe that Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. He could look in the mirror and know that. Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart.
Whoa, we're here.
Yeah.
That was fast. That took us a lot less time to get here than it did to get to 1998. But things have moved on. Clearly, technologically. I'm just going to go and switch off Bot by Hanson that I can't stop listening to. It is 1997 after all.
Wow.
And Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Oh.
Don't worry, Brett. If you get knocked down, you can get up again. They're never going to keep you down. Well, they won't now because you will have to go to WCW and Goldberg won't kick you in the head.
Yeah.
We're doing a good.
Could still be working today.
We're doing a good thing here, actually. Okay. Here we go. We're going to go in order, so I'll go first, and then you will go after me. Here we go. Survivor Series 1997. It's a barn burner. It's actually a really good match. Brett and Sean. It goes down the exact same way, but for one detail. So Sean puts on the sharpshooter, Errol rings the bell, and we've got a new champion. We see the likes of Briscoe and Vince and all that coming down to the side of the ring. Brett sees immediately what's going on, hawks a big loogie in Vince's face, and the pay-per-view goes off the air. Now, if you're watching that today, if you're watching Survivor Series 97 on the network today, that is exactly how it goes down. There is no WCW in the air.
Oh,
nah.
Interesting. Okay.
So that is how we're booking it right now.
Yep.
No WCW. So the following night on Raw, we have DX coming down to the ring. I think what we'll do, because we're still in Montreal.
We are.
If we're not in Montreal, we're definitely in Canada.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll do is we'll have Brett's music hit as the first thing you hear on Raw. Sean, Rick Rude, Triple H and Chyna, after giving it a little while and the crowd going mental, out they walk. We got this, you're already going to get a lot of heat. That gives us even more heat. In real life, they cut this horrendously anti-Brett promo. I don't know if you've watched it or if you remember, but they tear into him. There's no holding back.
Yeah.
So I think we'll go with that exact same scenario for this week of Raw. I think Sean says something like the World Wrestling Federation was not big enough for the two of us, and I sent his ass down south. And that's all we're saying. That's us for that episode of Raw. All right.
Okay.
So that leaves your Meltzers and whatever to speculate that he is away to WCW. Yeah?
Yeah, I think in 97, if people were getting wrestling news sent to them by the writers, it's probably in some sort of thing that was being mailed out. So
the actual newsletter.
You could do this a lot easier in this era without the fear of it breaking sort of nationwide, worldwide, that he was actually still there.
Yeah. You'd have to have Sean Ross Sapp cycling around with a megaphone trying to tell people what's going on. Okay, so that's our first episode of Raw back after it. Get them some heat and sprinkle a little bit of so what's going on sort of thing. So the following week, we're going to go very similar to what happened. We're going to have the sort of video hit piece on Brett. The Hitman snapped and all that with JR voicing it. I always wonder, I think we spoke about this before, if Brett ever had heat with JR, because he was very company man at this point in time.
Yeah.
Probably no. And we get the JR and Vince sit down, interview everything we've just heard. Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. I think we'll have Vince say that. I think what I'll have JR say is, where is he? Where is Bret? We've never seen or heard from him since then. We'll say Vince says his contractual obligations to the WWF expired in Montreal on whatever date Survivor Series was. My understanding is that he's been offered a lot of money by Ted Turner, someone like that. Yeah?
Yeah, this is, I had wondered what similarities we would have, because obviously I'll do mine, but yeah, this is quite different, I think, the direction.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So I then fast forward quite far forward, basically let things play out. Bret is not on TV. He's obviously not on WCW TV. He can go home and mope for multiple weeks and get stretched by Stu. We get the it's not at this point, you'll be able to remind me, between that second week of Raw after Survivor Series and D-Generation X in your house, we don't get the Owen Hart sort of push or the Black Heart thing or anything like that. We don't get that, do we? No. Right. So fast forward past D-Generation X in your house, still do Shamrock versus Shawn Michaels for the title and all that sort of stuff. We build past that from D-Generation X in your house towards the Royal Rumble, the 1998 Royal Rumble. We've got Stone Cold on a bit of a stomp towards what seems like a sort of crowning moment and he's been going on that for a good period of time, through 1997. We also get a rivalry developed between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker will be the number one contender for the 1998 Royal Rumble. Don't know if you will remember, but it was a casket match, a really good casket match. Same stipulation. That's what we're going for. All right.
Yep.
So on the night, the casket match will take place before the Royal Rumble. I don't know if that was the case or not, but that's what we're going for.
Yeah.
Did it?
I don't know that it did, but I had to make it that as well.
All right. Okay. So Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Obviously, in a casket match, there's no DQ, but I still think at this point in time, you would still get something like a ref bump for shenanigans to happen. Because if for example, somebody just jumped at the crowd and battered one of them with a steel chair, then, like, what's the point, sort of thing?
Yep.
So we get a ref bump, something goes on, both men are shattered, are gassed out, and you get a ref bump, all right? At that point, China and Triple H come down the aisle. The fans start going mad. So they start stomping on Undertaker, helping Michaels eventually to his feet, and they help Michaels get on top. We get sweet chin music by Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker rises. We get a DDT from China, and Undertaker rises. Pedigree from Triple H continues to rise, keeps getting up. Another sweet chin music, and that's him. He stays down. All right, all three of them start rolling him over towards the casket. They place him at the side of the ring and open up the casket. As they do, all three of them, their eyes bug out in shock at what's happened. And Bret Hart sits up in the casket, looking towards him. He looks directly towards Shawn, jumps out and goes for him. Triple H and China try and beat him off. I was going to say, Triple H and China try and distract, try and help, but he easily dispatches them, and they get sort of led away by referees, they're like sort of helped into the back. Shawn sort of cowering his way into the corner. Bret walks him down and kicks him and DDTs him. And he rolls out the ring and leaves through the crowd. Undertaker rises as Bret is walking out through the crowd, rolls Michaels into the casket and wins the title. Same night, Austin wins the Rumble. Are we still diverging?
Yes, significantly. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I keep thinking, you may have come up with some stuff that could have helped me out a bit. But
That's fine. At the end, we can pop them together. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but the Raw post-Rumble, I think the first thing you see, despite Austin having won the Rumble, is Paul Bearer. I think because they set Undertaker's casket on fire, him and Kane. And Paul Bearer does that. It doesn't say that's the bottom line because Paul Bearer said so, but he says something like that. That's the truth because I'm Paul Bearer or something like that. Anyway.
I'm Paul Bearer and you're not, or something like that.
Aye, that's right. That's right. So, very first segment, we get Paul Bearer and Kane coming out. Him and Kane. Paul Bearer is seething. He is so angry at Bret Hart for helping Undertaker win the title. He's angry at Steve Austin because he'll be the one that gets to challenge Undertaker at WrestleMania. It should have been Kane. You don't deserve it, Steve Austin. Kane deserves vengeance against his brother. All that sort of stuff. Immediately, glass shatters. Austin's down to the ring. He starts attacking Kane. We get millions of refs having to pile in. They're just like battering each other about the ring. And as we're talking like 20 refs in the ring, try to pull them apart, and they keep. You remember Angle and Joe?
Yes.
We'll go for that, but like in the ring.
Nice.
As it's happening, Undertaker stood at the top of the ramp with a belt over his shoulder, just watching it all happen. Okay, so later on, just get your normal Raw matches and whatever. We see a limousine pulling in to the back bit. Owen gets out first, then Bulldog, then Bret Hart. Huge pop for Brett from the crowd. They're walking through the back, like he's shaking hands with people. So good to see you back, Brett, and all that. Boom. Sean hits him with a chair. Triple H, China, they attack the Bulldog and Owen and Brett and like lay them out. Bloody mess. An absolute mess. Kick on a wee bit further into the episode. Vince is in his office throwing stuff about, going mental. What is going on here? Why is Austin attacking Kane? What the hell's Bret Hart doing here? Michael walks in. He doesn't even get a chance to... He's looking all smug with himself. He doesn't even get a chance to start speaking. Vince is on him. What the hell are you doing? How am I meant to control all this? God damn it. There's only one thing for it. Get out of my office. That's it. We get to the very last segment of Raw, and we get Vince coming out to the ring. He first he addresses Undertaker. He says at WrestleMania it'll be Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, China, D-Generation X, you need to be controlled. You can't just be attacking people with chairs. Kane, you don't even have a match at WrestleMania. And Paul Bearer, but like he said, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with you. Bret Hart, you don't even work for this damn company anymore. And he's just like frustrated with everybody. He's like he's lost control. He says, if you, Owen and Bulldog, continue arriving, appearing at this place, I'll fire both of them as well. So he says, if none of that's a deterrent, Austin, if you keep behaving like this, I'll take away your title opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But if that's not enough of a deterrent, I've got myself an insurance policy. The only man who could possibly stop all of this behaviour, all this nonsense, and who could control you, I've got the baddest man on the planet, and he's here to be my enforcer. Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson comes out, and I think we'll have to go off without him talking on the microphone. He's not getting away with saying, Cold Stone, hey Cold Stone. So it's just, that's it. And the fans are going mental, hopefully. No, we're not going off. I'm talking rubbish. He's not cutting a promo though. So Vince welcomes him, says, I need an enforcer. This place is going mad. People don't even work here are attacking people, blah, blah. Glass shatters. Austin straight into the ring in Tyson's face, as you can imagine. We've seen it before.
Nice.
As soon as this all kicks off, Kane's down there, Bearer like pointing him down the ring. Woo! So he goes down, and then we've got like just millions of people in the ring trying to pull apart Austin with Tyson, and Tyson with Austin and Kane, and Vince going, "Oh, you've ruined it," and all that, like he did.
Yep.
Again, we cut to the top of the ramp, and Undertaker standing there with the title, drinking it all in. But Shawn Michaels appears and super kicks him. He stands over Undertaker, picks up the heavyweight title, and holds it up over him. And Bret Hart appears and smashes him with a chair. So Raw goes off air with Bret stood over Shawn and Vince and Tyson and Kane and all that, with police between them in the ring. That's how we go off. All good? No holes?
Yeah. I don't think so. No.
Okay. I think I've not got massive amounts of detail between now and the next pay-per-view, but what I have got is that we get, for one of the next Raws, we get JR saying DX have says they're going to unveil a new member tonight. And that's to be Tyson. Tyson comes out to DX and he's loving it, doing all the chops and everything like that. Again, Vince is just livid. Like, he's suddenly brought this guy in to try and help him get control out of a crazy situation. And he's like immediately lost him to Shawn and Triple H just being degenerates. So all this sort of out of control behaviour between Austin, Kane, Bret, Shawn, Undertaker, Tyson just kind of keeps rumbling on. Maybe they're having matches and somebody attacks, interrupts the match and just attacks and stuff like that. We've got some chaos going on. So Vince decides to make some matches for No Way Out of Texas. We're going to have Bret versus Triple H. And he says, if you win, I'll gladly sign you to a new contract here. And if you win, You can fight Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. You get your match, get your revenge if that's what you want. But I'm going to need a guest referee, and it's going to be this man, and it's Shawn Michaels. He gets to put on the little pants. Also, at No Out of Texas, we're going to have Kane versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. They can thrash this out as well. Kane, if you win, you'll face Undertaker at WrestleMania in the main event for the World Heavyweight title. Stone Cold, ditto, but if you win, Kane is barred from WrestleMania. Give you the chance to compete for the title without this 7-foot monster getting involved. So we go to the pay-per-view. Brett versus Shawn. Brett versus Triple H, guest ref Shawn Michaels. Tyson at ringside with Chyna. You can imagine what it would be like. Lots and lots of shenanigans, lots of turning her back. Probably pretty... My concern is this is too similar to SummerSlam 97, but because obviously we've already had Undertaker, Brett, and Shawn as guest referee, but you've got the extra wrinkle like DX at the side, Tyson, all that sort of stuff. So for the finish, we would have Triple H going to swing a chair at Brett. Brett moves, hits Shawn. Brett hits a pedigree on Triple H and then uses Shawn's hand to count the 1, 2, 3 whilst knocked out as like Tyson and Chyna try and get in the ring. So Brett's won. He gets Shawn at WrestleMania. Austin versus Kane is the main event for No Way Out of Texas. We get a clean win for Austin, but as he's celebrating, getting his beers, the lights go off, Undertaker appears, tombstones Austin, and as the pay-per-view goes off the air, we just have Undertaker standing in the ring over Kane and Austin. Okay. So for between No Way Out of Texas and Mania, again, I've not really got like detailed week after week, but we get loads more weeks where like DX and the Hart Foundation. Now we've got a very clear path of Shawn versus Brett and Undertaker versus Austin. We get DX and the Hart Foundation getting involved in each other's matches, fighting backstage. Eventually Vince has enough, and throughout all this, like, Vince is getting more and more annoyed, and he's just basically lost control. He eventually snaps. He says, WWF isn't big enough for both of you. It's the reason I didn't want you here after Survivor Series in the first place. At WrestleMania 14, it's going to be Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, career versus career. And to make sure your family don't get involved, Tyson himself will be a special enforcer on the outside of the ring. So that's me. It takes me to WrestleMania 14. So I'll run through WrestleMania 14 the night after Mania, and then that's me done. So we get Bret versus Shawn, career versus career, with Tyson on the outside. Like I say, Tyson is there to make sure that Owen and Bulldog don't get involved. But really what we're doing is kind of, what's the phrase? We're like thinging the deck against Bret again.
Stacking the deck.
Stacking the deck against Bret again. It's looking like Shawn's being favoured over Bret. So we get like a sort of very similar match to Survivor Series 97. We get them. Remember Austin and Bret's WrestleMania 30 match where they didn't even get in the ring for like the first 10 minutes. Yeah. We get a lot of that fighting outside. But ultimately, Shawn taps to the sharpshooter. We get a ref bump. Tyson has to come in and call for the bell. And then afterwards, same thing happens as what happened at WrestleMania 14. Michaels is like, what the hell and all that, and Tyson lays him out. So Michaels has to retire. In the main event, it's Undertaker the champion versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. We get a clean win for Austin, despite Kane coming down halfway through and tombstoning both men, even though he was barred from WrestleMania. Austin still gets the clean win, and the Austin era can still begin. From then, we had a very iconic night after WrestleMania episode of Raw. in real life, we had basically Austin McMahon properly kicking off round about then. I think does Austin come out in a suit?
Yeah, he tries
and
to
all that
make
sort
him
of
the
stuff.
corporate champion
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
He gets arrested. We had the new DX being unveiled. So we got a little bit similar stuff. So I think we'll get Austin still getting involved with McMahon. We'll still get him wanting him to be the corporate champion and gets arrested. We'll get Triple H earlier in the night debuting the new DX with X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws. In the very first segment of what happens, we'll have The Rock kick Farouk out of the nation. And in the closing segment, which is a celebration for Bret Hart, who has won his career versus career match with Shawn Michaels, we'll have the Hart Foundation celebrating, we'll have the New Nation jump them, batter them, and we'll kick off post-WrestleMania 14 with Austin McMahon and Rock versus Bret.
Nice. I have a funny feeling Rock and Bret would both have liked to have done Rock versus Bret. Just from stuff they've both said. It's
I don't think they ever got a chance properly, did they?
No, and apparently when Rock was having to wade through an awful lot of shit in his early stages of his career, Bret was one of the guys that was basically showing the belief and the faith in him.
Nice.
But it never really got to pay that off in any way.
Nice. So that's us heel Rock versus face Bret. Shawn goes off into the sunset and does what? Go to rehab, probably, is potentially what he did.
Yeah, I like that. There's a lot I like there because there's a few things I struggled with because for some reason I was adamant in my mind I didn't want to change it from being Michaels Austin where we were going. But anyway, yeah, I'll go through that.
Okay, cool. Aye. Okay, I think you're more detailed than that. Is that
probably?
Fair?
But I've got a lot of Raw stops, but I noticed when you were going through it, I've missed a pay-per-view.
Oh, you missed the way out of Texas?
No, I got that one. It was the DX in your house that I missed. Right. I just totally missed it from what I was doing. So
nice.
Hopefully that wouldn't be too impactful. Okay, so my turn.
Yes.
Now,
I'm excited to hear this.
There are some plot holes. There's two that I'm aware of. But anyway, okay. So as you set the scene, everything that happened apart from the WCW letters. And I still want, whether it was real or whether it wasn't, I still want Vince with a black eye.
Nice.
I think that's important. Has to be a belief that Bret took the swing at him. So yeah, here we are. We are the Monday Night Raw after Survivor Series. We rock up to Raw. We're still in Canada, like you said. We're told by the announcers that several people have no-showed this Monday Night Raw. We're told the Hart Foundation will not be there. We hear that there's other superstars that have no-showed out of solidarity to Bret. And Vince is going to pick up the mic and walk out to the ring. Now, you can imagine the reaction he's getting. We're still in Canada. He is trying to tell his side of the story. He's talking about, he needed to protect the company. Bret's out of control. He truly believes he's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. He's lost all sight of how to do business. We get Austin walking out, and I don't know why, but I was thinking maybe mostly for the crowd and the fact we're in Canada. I don't really want any music. I just want Austin walking out. There's going to be booze.
Seems more serious.
Yeah, and less pre-planned. And Austin gets in the ring and he grabs a microphone and he's doing that. You all know me and the Harts don't exactly get along, but what I saw last night was nothing but bullshit. He gets a bit more of a positive reaction from the crowd. He says, Vince, you're telling me Bret's out of control, but what about you? You're now just dictating the outcome of matches. This is a fucking disgrace. Something along those lines. We're going to get, from that moment, the Hart Foundation music hit. But it's DX. So when you said that, I thought they definitely did that, didn't they, at a point? So just, I think, followed something that happened. Did they make Midget Brett or something like that come out? Or
Maybe,
there was
aye.
something. So yeah, the Hearts, and then there's a bit of a gap, and it's Shawn and it's Triple H, and they're crotch chopping and laughing away to themselves and things like that. They make their way down the ring. They grab the microphone out of Shawn grabs the microphone out of Austin's hand, who looks pretty unimpressed by that behaviour, and tries to start speaking, but he is just completely drowned out by booze.
Dominant
as he's
Mysterio
speaking-
heat.
Yeah. As he's speaking, Austin's just looking more and more pissed off, and he eventually has had enough. Stunner for Michaels, stunner for Triple H, China, and Vince.
Yes.
He's wiped out the entire ring. He just gets out of the ring. He walks off. He can do his double finger salute to the crowd, who are, I would imagine, giving him a bit of a better reaction now, but he's still Austin in Canada. And
I can
obviously,
imagine his face getting more and more annoyed. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
he's obviously had his issues with the Hearts, so he's not totally over with the crowd. But we've got not much drama going on the rest of that night. However, Triple H fights Shamrock, which I think did happen on that
Right.
show. He's got DX by his side. But on the intros, they again come out to the Heart Foundation music, and again, it's just piling on that bit more heat. The crowd probably don't react to it in quite the same got you fish hook way, but they're pissed off. They don't want to be seeing these guys. So the match is going on, and Shawn is at ringside, and he's doing all his nonsense, riling up the crowd and all that. And we just see from the edge of the camera, he gets knocked down. We don't really see what's going on, and in classic Shawn Michaels behaviour, he's pissed off, he's shouting and swearing, he just storms back up the aisle. No idea, no sign of exactly who knocked him down or exactly what happened. And that's us going off the air from that Monday Night Raw.
This isn't going to be a Ross Hart push, is it? Or a Bruce Hart push?
Didn't really factor Bruce in. Maybe I
Thank
should
God.
have. We're
I
moving
like
on.
that though. I like that. I like this realism.
Try to just bring a little bit of, I want to keep the crowd guessing, and the TV viewers guessing. So
Okay.
we're still in Canada at the next Raw, and we hear from the announcers that everyone's back to work apart from the Heart Foundation members who, quite understandably are not sure what they're going to do with themselves quite yet. We get the sit-down interview with Vince and JR, and that's screened, Brett screwed Brett video. Although what he's explaining is the reason he had to take the belt off him, being his ego. He won't do business. He won't work with who I want him to work with. Stuff like that. He's out of control. And he says he's drunk with power, and because he's got a group established around him, this is becoming very, very dangerous to the company, and he had to take action. Vince also mentions that Stone Cold has told him he is considering his future with the company. He doesn't want to work for an owner like that, and an owner that will inevitably screw him too whenever he feels like it. We get DX. They come out, they deliver a heel promo, your sort of classic, we've got rid of Brett, we've got rid of the problem, we're here, we're going to be the dominant group. And this time we get the Heart Foundation jump in the barrier while DX are in the ring.
Oh my God! Imagine the pop.
Yeah, the crowd would go insane. And
Are we just talking Owen and Bulldog here?
No. Okay, so this is where I booked myself into a little bit of a corner. This is everyone but Brett. So I've still got Neidhart and I've still got Pillman.
Right.
Now, I think they're still there and with him, but this, I wish they weren't, because this causes me an issue as I go a little bit further into this.
As I was doing this, I had to try and work out when Pillman died, but it was 98 Pillman died. Eh?
Yeah, he's still alive at this point, and I think they're still that
It's
group.
some real fantasy booking if he's not.
So it's everyone apart from Brett.
Right.
And they leave DX laying, much to the delight of this crowd.
Nice.
No microphone, no promo, nothing said. They just took them out and walked off.
Love that.
I think it must be the next Raw. Shawn Michaels scheduled to have a match with Vader, which I think did happen. I think that was a real match. But he wants guarantees none of the Hart Foundation are going to jump him. Vince assures Michaels that the Harts in Austin are not there tonight. The Harts have stayed back in Canada. Austin still hasn't told him if he's going to be leaving the company or not. So it must be in America by this point, I'm pretty sure. But I want Michaels, so he's having the Vader match, but I want him to be really jumpy. Like everything that happens, he's like turned around really paranoid and he keeps looking into the crowd and all that and getting totally freaked out.
Yeah, I like that.
We eventually get a non-finish. It looks like Vader's going to get the win, but Triple H and Chyna are getting involved just to stop Michaels losing the match. And Michaels at the end is just like, we got to get out of here. He's just wanting to go straight up the ramp. So his paranoia is very much kicking in for Michaels. Where am I here? Yep. The next Raw. Triple H due to have a match with Hart Foundation member Jim Neidhart, and it's going to be the first proper official match involving a DX and Hart Foundation member since the Screwjob. Vince cuts a promo saying that DX and the Harts are banned from ringside. This has to be one-on-one. At a point in the match, and this is me trying to cover up another issue, so yeah, I am going to bring forward the Outlaws joining up with DX because I felt like I was going to struggle a bit numbers game wise to make this a fair fight.
The thing was though, the Outlaws were aligned with DX.
Yeah.
Round about this time period, they just weren't official members.
Yeah, there'd been like times of them working together and times where it seems like they were trying to impress them and stuff like that. So yeah,
they put like Animal through a table together and all that. Do you remember?
Yeah. So obviously there was no mention of the Outlaws being banned from ringside.
I like that.
They come out, they work with Triple H, they destroy poor Jim Neidhart, and the glass hits, and Austin comes marching down the ring. He is going stunner crazy again. Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, both stunned. Triple H stunner. He kind of ignores Neidhart. It's not that he's helping him up or anything like that. He's just there. He's had enough of the DX stuff. So he takes them out and then he walks away. He's getting quite a pop because it's in America now rather than in Canada. We've got at the next Raw the Hart Foundation talking backstage. So Brett is talking about how we all need to pull in the same direction as a group.
Brett, this is Brett's first appearance.
Yes, so Brett on camera, and he's talking to the rest of the Harts who are a bit like, we don't know what to make of this Austin situation. He came out, but I don't know that he was really helping us. And Owen is very much on the, you've got to watch out for Austin. I know that, it might seem like he's trying to help us, but he's Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I don't want anything to do with him. So, yeah, and the rest of them sort of speculating, it's fine if we've got a common enemy, but we're not bringing him in. He's not going to work with us. So we get to, on the show, Austin's teaming up with LOD to face Triple H and the Outlaws. Now, I think there was a match, and it was Austin and LOD, but I don't think Triple H was with the Outlaws in the match.
Yeah, no, I think it was like a 8-man match, whatever that may have been.
Yeah. The match just descends into chaos when Neidhart and Pillman run down, start attacking DX, and they kind of similarly just stay away from Austin, so they're not really going after him or anything like that, but they're not properly fully siding with him. We get where am I now? Oh yeah. We hear there's going to be a match between LOD, Hunter and Sean, Owen and Davey Boy. No, wait a minute. What is this match? I've got so many notes. LOD, Hunter and Sean, Owen and Davey Boy. If I meant to put LOD in there, or is this supposed to be Hunter and Sean, Owen and Davey Boy? It might not be that important. We've got Brett in the back talking to his team, saying you have to watch out for the Outlaws. They're going to jump in and interfere in this match.
What's this? Triple H and Sean versus Owen and Bulldog?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Owen's reminding them in the back that they have to watch out for Austin too, because Austin's a loose cannon. They don't know what he's going to do.
I love this little wrinkle about Owen.
We've got match just descends into an absolute brawl. Outlaws run in to help DX. The rest of the Hearts go in, but we're it's kind of weak. They're ambushed by Savio Vega and Los Boricuas.
Yes, that was a thing that was going on at the time, though.
Yep. Again, we're going to get the glass shattering. Austin's walking down. He just looks thoroughly pissed off. He's got a steel chair in hand. He looks to be swinging at Owen, but he connects with Triple H and then swings with and connects with Michaels. Owen's looking kind of shocked and not sure what to make of it. Austin just throws the chair onto the ground, double finger salutes and walks off. Poor Owen, he doesn't know whether he's coming or going at this stage. Where am I moving to? Moving to the next Raw. Now, I don't know exactly when this happens, but it did happen. Triple H is facing Michaels for the European title, which has been decided by, is it Slaughter? Makes them face each other. I think he was commissioner at the time.
Yep.
And they do the whole sham of the match thing that they did.
Cross running and all that nonsense.
Yeah. Michaels just gives them the win. Davey Boy is incensed by this. This was his title at a point in time. He's seen it just basically handed over. He's not happy. He runs in, wants to try and have a brawl, but he just gets beaten down. He's 2-on-1, and you're kind of thinking, well, where's the rest of them? Yeah, where's the rest of them? And then we cut to, it's just Owen and Pillman in the back, looking like they have no real idea what's going on. And they're talking about Brett not being there. Why is Brett not there tonight? And they get told by, you know these guys that run in and they look like sound engineers or something like that. Yeah. They're like, your guy's getting killed in the ring, and they're like, oh. So I wanted to kind of paint the picture that they're maybe a bit rudderless and directionless when Brett's not there.
Nice. Are they watching screens, or they're just like
they're
sat
just
in the
chatting.
back?
Yeah,
right. So they have no idea that that's happening.
Yeah, didn't even seem to know the match was going on. But the main thing we hear between Pillman and Owen is they're talking about Austin, because they both have a past with Austin. And Owen's saying he's really worried that Brett's starting to buy this bullshit from Austin, and he can't trust him, and he needs Pillman's back on this. And Pillman's like saying, he's broke into my house. You know, I'll never trust this guy. You remember that when he had the thing where he pulled the gun on him and stuff like that. So yeah, he's now, that may have happened after, but I can't remember.
I think it happened in 1997. I think.
Okay.
It did.
Oh, good. So yeah, it just ends up...
maybe even 96. I think early 97, sorry.
Yeah, it was not long after he joined, I think, Pillman. Yeah. So they get there to make the save, but he's already been beaten down, Anvil, and he's pretty pissed off that nobody had his back there and then in that moment. We're moving on to the next show. We've got Owen against Shawn in a title match, just on a Raw.
Okay.
And it's basically like a lumberjack match. So Vince has decided that the people from the Hart Foundation and DX can be there at ringside, as long as both sides are there. So lumberjack match. It's every time one of them gets knocked out, there's a mass beating on them. Unfortunately for them, they keep getting knocked out on the wrong side of the ring and not getting any help from their guys. But again, I started to worry this gets a bit repetitive. Austin's going to come down. He's got a chair. This time, he swings it looking like he's aiming for Triple H, but he hits Owen.
Mm-hmm.
So Owen's laid out on the ground. But then, as soon as Owen's down, Austin's fighting as if he's supporting the Hart Foundation. He's going after DX. Owen has an absolute meltdown after this in the ring. He's screaming, he hit me deliberately with a chair. He won't let it go. He won't forget what happened in the past. He's never going to be with us. And Owen has his tantrum and then just storms out.
Oh, he had the perfect opportunity to say enough is enough and it's time for a change.
Poor Owen. He'll get his moment, I'm sure. We get I'm at the 5th of January Raw, so I'm a couple of weeks out from the Rumble. Brett's here, and he announces he is going to participate in the Royal Rumble match. He's going to get what he's due. at WrestleMania. He says he knows Vince will never give him another title shot. He knows Shawn will never give him a title shot. But the way he can make this happen is by going and winning the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that's strong. I love that.
Next up, we've got the rest of Hart. He informs us the rest of the Hart Foundation are also going to be in the Rumble match, and they all know what the objective is for this match.
Let's see where this is going. Amazing.
Vince walks out and announces there cannot be any more fights between the Hart Foundation and DX between now and the Rumble. So these 2 weeks, none of this. We need to have some control over this show. It's just descending into anarchy every week. He's had enough. He's taken a bit longer to get to that stage than he did in yours, but he's pissed off, and he just wants the show to go as it's supposed to go. So the first sort of test of that, we get Owen and I think I've written, Road Dogg have a singles match, and nobody interferes. The match ends up in I think it's a double count out because they're just brawling outside the ring, but there's no interference from anyone else. So you're hoping, or you're led to believe, maybe they're taking this seriously now, this threat. Vince's caveat when he was saying no more brawls between them is they'll all be out of the Rumble. That's it.
Nice.
There'll be nobody in the Rumble if there's any more brawls. So moving forward to the next week, Austin confirms he's going to be in the Rumble match, and he says that he doesn't trust anybody, but he'll be damned if Shawn Michaels is walking out of WrestleMania with the belt no matter what happens.
Love it.
No matches featuring the Harts or DX, but we see Bret going and speaking to Stone Cold. We just see this in the corridors. They're having a conversation. I wouldn't say it's overly friendly, buddy-buddy or anything like that, but there's no fighting. They're having a chat. There's a handshake, and then Bret walks into the Hart's locker room, and then we see just from behind him that Owen witnessed this.
Yes.
And Owen walks into the locker room not long after Bret. We get a camera in the Hart Foundation locker room. Bret is saying to the Harts, it's fine. We've got him. We can use him. He wants revenge on Michaels just as much as we did. He's a traditional guy. He believes in the way business should be done. He's calling out all this bullshit. But as soon as we're done with him, we move on. I know Owen's still looking a little bit skeptical, and he's saying, Bret, I'm glad you weren't buying all this, but we can't let him get too close. This is a dangerous, dangerous guy. Bret reminds them all Austin was one of the guys that no-showed TV. Austin was one of the guys that felt what was done was bullshit. And if it comes to it, he'll knock Austin out of the Rumble, but there's a lot to get through before they get there.
Oof. Oh, brilliant.
We get to the Rumble. Now, I do have some regrets over this. But anyway, I have gone for the title match, the Michaels and Undertaker title match, going down just the way it did.
Right.
So Michaels will still have the belt at the end of this title match. There's been interference by DX, but Michaels legitimately has an injured back. And the sort of fallout isn't really any different from what happened. We're kind of almost brutally moving on from Undertaker really quite quickly.
Okay.
The Royal Rumble match. Am I quite there yet? Oh yeah, wait a minute. What have I got here? So Taker is, during the match, he's jumped by DX, but Bret is shown stopping the Harts from going and getting involved. He's saying he wants Shawn to keep the belt, and they have to stick to the plan.
Nice.
We get to the show. We know who a lot of the contenders are, basically Bret, Owen, Neidhart, Davey Boy, Pillman, as well as Triple H, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and Chyna. I can't remember if this is the Rumble match she was in, but I'm chucking her in this one. So Shawn is interviewed, and he says, you never know what sort of surprises DX might have in store for the Harts. We had nobody saw Los Boricuas coming the other week, so who knows what might happen tonight.
Yes.
Oh.
No, okay, go on.
Rumble match starts. We get the incredibly long intro from Howard Finkel, and then Road Dogg is out first. And at number 2, we've got Billy Gunn. They kind of tease that they're going to fight, and then they sort of laugh, hug, and then they just watch the clock wind down. They're going to be in this together as a team. They eliminate a couple of randoms. For some reason, I've written Tom Brandy and Thrasher.
Who's Tom Brandy?
I don't know, but I think he was in a Rumble match.
Amazing.
I think I must have looked up who participated in this Rumble match and
if
thought,
you've looked up their numbers.
Who's expendable without any story? Now, Owen Hart, his music hits. I think I've got him coming out at number 5. So his music hits, and it's just the Outlaws that are waiting for him in the ring. He walks down to the ring slowly. He waits. He's smiling. He knows something. He just holds off. The Hart Foundation music hits again, and it's Neidhart. He comes out. So Owen and Neidhart rush the ring.
So we've got to have Owen join DX. My God, I was about to be disgusted.
Not yet. No. So yeah, we've basically got a 2-on-2 with the Outlaws against Owen and Neidhart. The brawl goes on, but there's no eliminations. The ring starts to fill up a bit, and then out comes Savio Vega. The Outlaws smiling, looking pretty cocky. Vega goes straight at them, tries to knock them down. He's trying to eliminate them. He wants to win. And is this an indication DX have no more support? Is it just going to be them? Next in is Bulldog. So in terms of Hearts against DX, it's a 3-on-2 advantage.
Yep. Have we got other bodies sort of strewn about the place yet?
Yeah. And then the Hearts are going to eliminate both Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. They're going to get them out, and then they're going to clear the ring.
Nice.
So all we've got left are 3 Hart Foundation members. They eliminate each entrant, a couple of more entrants coming out, just 3-on-1. That's these guys have no chance. And Chyna comes out. Now, let's be fair. She's not backing down. She is walking straight down to the ring and getting in. She puts up a bit of a fight, but she gets eliminated.
Wow.
So Chyna's out of the reckoning. The Rock's music hits. For some reason, I've read he's gesturing flamboyantly.
What Rock have we got at this point?
So this would be
still Rocky Maivia, but he's part of the nation.
He's in the nation, yeah. So I'm sure when I watched this Rumble, he and D'Lo keep going at each other, even though they're both in the nation, but there's loads of other people in the ring. So yeah, Rock is doing his classic cocky Rock look, and then he manages to survive for long enough, and D'Lo is in next, who helps him out a bit. So we've got 3 Hearts plus Rock and D'Lo in the ring. Triple H's music hits. He runs down while Owen looks a little bit weakened by an attack by Rock and D'Lo. And Triple H manages to get a 3-on-2 teaming up with Rock, unlikely, and D'Lo, and he manages for them to eliminate. Is this the wrong one? Oh, I've got the wrong name here. I don't know where I've quite gone wrong. All right, okay, no, it's fine, I think. Neidhart, and I've written Pillman. Did I mean Davey? Because I don't think I mentioned Pillman coming in. I may have taken a misstep here, but basically Triple H manages to eliminate 2 of the Hearts, Anvil and Pillman.
Right.
I think. Brett is out next and starts to absolutely take Triple H apart. Like, he is really, really enjoying this. He is just, classic Bret Hart, pick a body part. He is just taking him to bits. And he's got the backing still of Owen in the ring. And we have... Does he eliminate Triple H? No, he doesn't eliminate Triple H. So he's just enjoying, I think, absolutely destroying him. Austin's music hits. He comes down, but he just sort of takes a back seat. He lets them keep destroying Triple H. He isn't going to get involved. We get the Nation members and Austin having a bit of a brawl while the Hearts continue to take apart Triple H. I must have said Davey Boy earlier when I meant Pillman, because I've got Davey Boy coming out now.
Right.
Davey Boy's out, so the Hearts are back up to three participants in the ring. Owen gestures to Brett that they need to get rid of Austin. Brett keeps saying, no, not yet. Owen and Davey are in the corner trying to eliminate Kurgan. I've clearly had Kurgan coming at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And Austin barges into them to try and help and accidentally tosses Owen and Davey out. Or did he? So Kurgan,
What do you
Owen
mean?
and Davey.
What do you mean, or did he? Like he
goes to try, look like he's trying to help them get Kurgan out, but all three men go over. Did Austin mean that?
Right,
Who knows? Who knows?
All three went out.
He's not going to worry about that too long, is Austin. So Owen and Davey are out. Owen is furious. He jumps back in the ring. He's calling Brett all things under the sun. He's shoving him. He's calling him an idiot. It's basically, we've seen Owen before.
Yeah, this is amazing.
At Brett. And then he eventually gets a little bit cooled down by Davey, takes him away, gets him away from ringside.
Let's go and smoke some crack.
Brett and Austin are basically eliminating everyone now, and we're down to our final four. We've got Brett, Austin, Rock, and D'Lo. So it's like two teams.
Brilliant.
That are still there. Brett gestures at Austin, let's each work on one of these, get rid of them, and then we'll just fight it out. And Austin seems absolutely fine with that. So Brett eliminates D'Lo, Austin stunners the Rock. Brett has his back to Austin. Austin low blow on Brett. Austin eliminates Brett. Rock very nearly eliminates Austin from the distraction, but Austin recovers, eliminates Rock, and Austin has won the Rumble match. Brett is raging. Yes. He jumps straight back into the ring. He's in Austin's face, screaming at him that he screwed him. Austin's kind of laughing and calling him a stupid son of a bitch. So, we get to the Raw after. Brett is out and says he has a lot to get off his chest. Talks about being screwed by Austin, how he is the number one contender, the rightful number one contender. He says that they had a pact going into that match and Austin screwed him. He talks about ignorant Americans cheering for beer-swilling rednecks.
Yes.
He accepts that Austin gets title match at Mania because that's how business works, but he wants Michaels at No Way Out of Texas in the title match. McMahon walks down and says Shawn has an injury. Shawn will not compete until WrestleMania. And maybe if Brett can keep his cool and work with Vince, he'll be able to help him get back to the top again. Vince says he's not a fan of Austin. Clearly Brett now has an issue with Austin. Work with me and we can do this together. Brett says, that's how it's going to be. You ruin my career and I'm just to sit back and take it?
Yes.
You ruin wrestling for me? I'm going to ruin everything about this business for you. And, pointing at the crowd, every one of these ungrateful sons of bitches.
Oof.
I'm going a bit heel for Brett here.
Yes.
He snapped. The Hart Foundation interrupt a Rock against Ahmed Johnson match.
Oof. I'm sure the crowd would be delighted to hear that.
And Brett grabs a microphone and says he is happy to come out and ruin every damn match on this show until he gets what he wants. They also destroy poor Earl Hebner.
Oh, well, I mean, you had that coming.
Well, yeah, maybe. Hebner is walking away and he looks like he's just hand gesturing saying, nah, I want nothing more to do with this. I'm done.
Yes. No more little gimpy 3 count.
We get the Tyson debut. And I want the pull-apart brawl with him and Austin to remain as it is with Vince screaming, damn it, you ruined it.
Yes.
So from my memory, this is before, that all happened before Vince had really had a chance to say anything about why Tyson was there. Yeah, that's fine. That should work.
You ruined everything.
So I'm going to the next Raw. Brett and the Hart Foundation are down again. They interrupt opening match, Ken Shamrock against Mark Henry. Brett has the mic and says he can do this all damn year, and he demands that Vince comes out to face him. Brett says again, I get it. Austin won the Rumble. He gets the title shot. I get it. But unless you listen to me and do what I want, you might find all your WrestleMania matches ruined as well. He says he is used to doing double duty at WrestleManias, so he wants 2 matches since he can't be in the title match. Brett wants himself and Owen to face the Outlaws for the tag titles.
Oh, no, Brett.
And he also wants a one-on-one with Triple H for the European title.
Oh.
Vince is saying you can't just dictate the show. We've had these plans in motion for ages. Brett says if Vince relents, he guarantees no Hart Foundation member will interfere in any matches at Mania or before. Vince says, okay, but it's not double duty, it's triple duty. Because you've made all the refs walk out, you're going to be the in-ring referee for Austin Michaels with Tyson on the outside. And he says, you get the pleasure of lifting somebody's hand because somebody comes out of that match as world champion, and I don't give a damn if you love or hate either of them. You will call it down the middle. That's the only way your family are keeping their jobs. Vince says, I've gone too far here. Vince says he hope it kills Brett that he's going to have to count the 3 for one of those 2.
I can imagine him saying it. Amazing.
Next Raw, backstage, DX Michaels is pissed off about Brett being the referee. He has also heard a rumour that Bret Hart has been promised, if everything goes okay in terms of interference and result, that Brett will be the number 1 contender post-Mania. Michaels tells Triple H, at least we've still got Tyson. So I think that was... They were acting scared of Tyson for a period of time, and then they revealed him wearing a shirt of theirs or something like that. So I've kind of done that in a slightly different way. He's referencing it, and that's the first the crowd are aware of it. So they're like, oh, shit. Poor Austin. Michaels and Triple H are seen speaking to Tyson, and he's all buddy-buddy with them later on that night. Austin does a promo. He says it's all the damn same for him. He doesn't trust anybody. He doesn't ask for any favours. He knows he's going to have to do this on his own no matter what. We hear there's going to be a 3-sided triple threat tag match. I've gone triple threat tag match for No Way Out of Texas. Okay.
Nice.
We've got
I thought you were maybe going for a 3-sided ring there.
No. We get the Hart Foundation minus Brett, Team DX minus Shawn, and Austin, and anyone he can get to partner with him. So we see Austin at a point be left beaten backstage. He's down. This is just the week before the No Way Out of Texas. Don't see who attacked him. Don't see anything. He's just down, knocked down. And the speculation is who the hell is Austin going to be able to get to team with him? And we get to No Way Out of Texas. Vince tells us Brett and Shawn are both not there tonight. He's told them to take a night off. He says, one way or another, we're getting our main event. It'll either be Austin against 6 guys, or he'll have been able to drum up some support. We get Austin come out, give a promo, and he says, this is just typical. Shawn gets every night of the week off. I have to work every damn night, but I don't care. I want to fight. And he says he has been able to get some guys together, and he has... is this 4? Yeah. So he has got Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack to be there with him.
Love it.
The match is just going to descend into absolute chaos. There's just brawling everywhere. Austin starts on a stunner tear, and he's even stunning his own partners. He doesn't care anymore. Poor Chainsaw.
Oh,
he didn't
come on,
out
Steve.
Retirement for this. We go to the next Raw. Vince tells us if Austin or Michaels get physical before Mania, they're out of the match, and Brett will replace them as a competitor.
In advance. But,
yes.
Right.
And if Brett gets physical with either of them, he's off Mania completely. Davey, Jim, they can take a hike. He might keep Owen and Pillman on, depending if he needs to beef up the cruiserweight division. We get a Owen v Road Dogg singles match, and there's no drama. Brett is due to face Billy Gunn later on, but he comes out and says he's not wrestling tonight. This crowd don't deserve him. This show's beneath him. He's going to have Davey Boy fill in for him. The American audience should always have to pay to be able to see Bret Hart. The match, I wrote, should always have to pay to see the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. The match between Davey and Billy Gunn also goes off without interference from anyone. I want it to feel like people fear the threat of what's been laid out. Next week, Austin promo calling Bret a crybaby, calling Michaels a chicken shit. Austin says he'll take the title and he'll destroy Bret the next night. He doesn't care who he's up against. He's going to be champion. He's the best in the world. We get. Oh yeah, so I've got Austin actually saying he wants to do this not just for him, but there's a hell of a lot of hardworking guys that show up every damn night in the back, and they deserve the shot before Bret. So if he has to face Bret, he'll just destroy him and then move on to the next guy. That's ruffled Bret, being basically called work shy, and he goes to charge the ring, but the Hart Foundation are holding him back, telling him, you're going to end up we're going to get fired. You're not going to get another shot, all that kind of thing. The next week, Triple H non-title match against Pillman, reminded of no running shenanigans, but we get Bulldog and Neidhart go to walk out towards the ring. Owen runs in front of them. He's basically telling them, don't you realise it's you guys that are getting fired? He's just he keeps saying Bret could lose everything. Owen. Pillman uses the distraction on the ramp. A steel chair works over Triple H trying to do some damage ahead of the Mania match. Bret showing backstage smiling. The Go Home Raw. Everyone's there, but it's only Austin in action. He faces The Rock.
Just a wee warm-up match before.
Yeah, I think I took that from the actual show.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. During the match, the Hearts walked down. So did DX and the Nation. There's just loads of guys surrounding the ring, but everyone's shy about throwing any kind of a punch. It looks like they're all just there more for intimidation reasons than anything else. I've got Tyson reffing this match.
Nice.
A little bit of practice. Austin's distracted, feels what he thinks is The Rock's hand on him, but it's Tyson. Austin's already swung at him and knocks Tyson down. Tyson attacks Austin, pull apart brawl between the two of them for the second time. But poor Austin, he's just stacked the deck against himself even more. Now the guy on the outside is going to be firmly against him if there was ever any doubt about it beforehand. And I'm finally at Mania. So Austin arrives. The commentators are kind of talking about, well, how the hell is he going to actually be able to pull this thing off? Shawn arrives with Triple H. They look a wee bit less cocky than their usual selves. Bret arrives with the Hearts, and they look pretty damn confident. Bret's saying he's going to put on the show of a lifetime. Owen asks who he wants to win the belt tonight, and Bret says, I'll decide who's going to win that later on. First match up on the card, Bret and Owen versus the Outlaws. Bret is wrestling like an absolute madman. He and Owen put on a clinic, but there's a viciousness and an aggressiveness to Bret. Even Owen's looking at him at times like, has he gone a bit mentally? Bret is ready to lock in the sharpshooter on Road Dogg, but he calls Owen into the ring, tells Owen to put the sharpshooter on Billy Gunn as well. They both lock in sharpshooters, both men tap. Owen and Bret, emphatic new tag team champions. And Bret walks away. He's, what have I got here? Pillman, Davey and Neidhart run down and help Owen destroy the Outlaws. Now, these guys are barely able to walk, but they're getting a real beatdown. But Bret just walks away. He's got more tonight. He needs to save his energy. But he looks very, very happy with himself. Midway through the card, Triple H up against Brett. Brett tells the Hearts in the back he wants to do this on his own. He knows the Outlaws are out of it. He knows Michaels is too selfish to get involved in a match when he's got a title match coming up later on. So he wants to do this on his own. Triple H does okay for a little while. He's trying to match him for wrestling, but Brett slowly takes control. Brett then decides low blow on Triple H, totally incapacitates him. Takes him outside the ring. Brett gets a steel chair, goes after Triple H's leg. He is absolutely taking the leg apart. The ref, I don't know why he's not disqualifying him, but he's not.
Fair dues.
Brett locks in the sharpshooter. Triple H is tapping like crazy, and Brett will not release. The bells rang. The ref is holding the title in front of Brett. He won't release the sharpshooter. Keeps hold. Eventually, the Hearts come out and they try to pull Triple H away from him. The frustration, everything that's built up in Brett, he just wanted to absolutely destroy him.
Snap his legs. Love it.
Can he keep cool when he's refereeing the main event?
Oof.
Got to remember, he's been told there's a lot at stake for him when refereeing this match. So, backstage, the Hearts are celebrating, but Brett's saying he still has a job to do. He runs into Tyson in the hallway, and he says, Tyson, keep the hell out of my way tonight. The ring is my place. You deal with anything on the outside, but do not get in my way. Austin promo. He's saying, I'm not leaving here without the world title. There's nothing Sean can do about it. If Brett or Tyson get in the way, then he'll show them whose damn ring this is. Says he's respected Brett as a performer, but all his crying what's it says? All his crying, and he spends no time wrestling. Takes more nights off than Michaels, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. A bit contradictory when he's working a double shift, but anyway. I wanted, earlier on when I said that he'd pointed that at Brett, that there were hard-working guys that turn up every night, I want it to be like questioning Brett's integrity as a performer, because I feel like that would get in his head.
Oh, yes.
Main event starts, get Tyson intro, Brett out next, then Austin, then Sean. Chyna and Triple H. Chyna walks down, supporting Triple H, who is hobbling like crazy.
DX band?
Well, yeah, maybe.
This one's for you, Earl. I forgot to mention. He could have said that, because Earl had to walk out, didn't he? Sorry, go on.
Brett immediately gets in Triple H's face, and Triple H sells, looking absolutely fucking terrified.
Yes.
The match plays out generally as it did until Triple H grabs Austin's leg as he's coming off the ropes. Brett jumps out of the ring, knocks Triple H down, but now Tyson is in Brett's face. In the ring, Austin hits a stunner. He's got a cover on Michaels, but Brett's busy with Tyson on the outside. Austin shouting at him, screaming at him, come on, I got this damn thing won. The distraction allows Sean to hit a super kick on Austin, and Brett is still on the outside of the ring. Brett shoves Tyson. Tyson KOs Brett with a punch. Austin makes the comeback, hits the stunner. Tyson slides into the ring. 1, 2, 3, quick pin. HBK gets into it with Tyson, catches a knockout punch. Brett is on the outside, just coming to, and looks absolutely furious. You can see Tyson raising Austin's hand on the inside of the ring. So that's where we go off air at Mania. Now, I think you could say Brett did call the match down the middle. He just got a wee bit carried away with Tyson on the outside.
Yep.
So I'm not heading to the next night with anyone fired from the Hearts or with Brett as his number one contender stripped. He still has that.
Right.
So part of the reason I struggled a little bit with this night, I've already aligned the Outlaws
DX
with DX. And you've lost Sean. So all you're really doing is adding X-Pac where you lost Sean.
That's fine.
But I still want to do that, have him come out, do his promo.
That's pretty much what they did anyway. You look to the click and all that. It's a big thing because he was in WCW.
Yeah, so he gets to do his promo. Triple H is, I want him to be still selling the leg. He's pissed off, but he's still selling the leg. He is blaming Michaels for not having his back. He says he got a beat down from the whole Hart Foundation after his title match, but Michaels had to save his energy for his title match and all that. So Triple H, now the leader, he invites X-Pac down, does his promo. We've got Austin down for the title celebration and the
Live
Vince
sex celebrations.
and the Vince wanting him to be the corporate champion.
Yep.
We get Austin stunners Vince, and he says if Brett actually wants to come to work tonight, I won't be hard to find. Brett comes out later with the Hart Foundation, says that while Tyson caught him with a lucky punch, he's the number one contender, and that's all that really matters. Brett says he wants his title fight in Canada, so he sure as hell won't be taking it tonight in New York. He is talking about how he has done everything he said he was going to do. He's taken the tag belts, he's taken the European title, he's got rid of Shawn Michaels. He says next step, he gets his title back. He says Austin's on his own, he's vulnerable, and DX don't have the numbers to compete now. Brett says he's vacated the European title to Davey, and his half of the tag titles to Neidhart.
Yes, that's very heelish. I love it.
Because he's now going to focus on the world title and taking care of business. It's announced that the Outlaws will have a rematch, tag team title rematch, against Owen and Neidhart in a cage tonight. Owen and Davey seem to have the upper hand, but the Outlaws seem to find or stumble upon a baseball bat and a set of handcuffs. They handcuff the Harts to the cage and they start destroying them with the baseball bat. Triple H, China and X-Pac come out from under the ring. So we're in the ring and it's 4-on-2 and they are destroying the Harts. The cage is locked. Brett, Davey, Pillman are all down trying to get in, trying to tear into the ring, and they can't get in. So I think that was kind of what happened with Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. Yeah. But I've added in that they come from under the ring to really beef up that numbers advantage as a callback to Brett saying they didn't have the numbers anymore.
Ah, nice.
So yeah, that's me. That's where I got to.
Wow. That was good. That was good. I liked that a lot.
Focused so much more on that than I did on work in the last.
I think you said to me that you think, we were talking and we said, I think basically what happened with the screw job was probably about the best thing that could have happened because it was hard to work out a way of doing it, but no way. That was brilliant. I could imagine a lot of that happening. Well done.
Thank you.
Beautifully played.
Oh.
I'd love to see I'd be so interested to see where that goes, but I know this took a lot out of you. Maybe we could wait a year and follow it on.
I did like the idea of a Brett as a crazed heel Brett. Almost the nothing to lose now type mentality Brett going after Austin and his title.
Is that what you saw happening? DX?
Yeah, I think DX probably in their own rivalry with the rest of the Hearts, but I was trying to, again, there are holes in it because you're then breaking off Brett and Austin, and I was trying to do that a little bit with Brett's promo, like giving away the titles and saying I've only really got one thing to focus on now, which is the world title. So he's still got his faction, but I was wondering if DX could go into a bit of maybe a short-term nation program or something like that. Yeah,
nice. You could push Rock and Triple H together, kind of what they did.
Yeah.
Have them feud over Intercontinental title or something like that. Love it. Well done.
I'm so glad we only did one because we were originally going to do two.
We were. Well, we saved the other one we were going to do was the Austin getting run down at Survivor Series 1999, and it was going to be the basically stipulation was it can't be Rikishi because it absolutely sucked. We'll save it for another one.
Yeah.
In the future. Did you manage to do any work on that at all? No.
No, I never even looked at it. Like, I think I messaged you maybe the start start of last week, saying I think it's going to be really tough to do two. Just I'd become aware very quickly of how much thought we're going to need to give this first one.
Yeah, that was detailed. That was class. And nothing like ridiculous as well. I think maybe I tried to juggle too much. Undertaker, Kane, Michaels, Hart, Brett, Austin, Tyson.
Yeah,
I
think I liked where you got to for Michaels, because obviously he is going to go away for a long time, and you had basically a career match, which I thought was a nice bow to put on that. Because he must be away
5 years.
Yeah.
Saying that, like he is away from the ring, but by 1999 he's involved in stuff.
Oh yeah.
1998, sorry, he's involved in stuff.
Commissioner for a wee while and
yeah,
stuff.
around about WrestleMania 15 he was commissioner.
He was maybe still a little bit unreliable at that point in time.
Aye.
So I don't think he went straight to rehab. I think that took a wee bit of time.
So do you want to know what ChatGPT? Do you want to know what ChatGPT came up with for
Yes.
For this is unbelievable. So, in the weeks following Survivor Series 1997, Vince McMahon asserts his dominance over the WWF, boasting about his role in the Screwjob. Shawn Michaels continues to gloat as a champion, with DX celebrating their victory. The WWF universe is left wondering about Bret Hart's future. Mysterious promos begin to happen. Cryptic video packages start airing on Raw, showcasing a dark, industrial setting with glimpses of a figure training rigorously. The promos feature voiceovers hinting at rebirth, vengeance, and a new beginning. The tagline, "Redemption is coming," appear, creating buzz and speculation. Act 2, the new Bret Hart emerges. The arena goes dark during a D-Generation X promo on Raw's War. An intense industrial-themed entrance music hits, and the figure from the promos appears on the stage. The light reveals Bret Hart with a brand new look. This made me laugh. A brand new look, darker ring gear, a short leather jacket, a more rugged appearance, complete with stubble and a fierce, determined expression.
Oh, yes.
Bret Hart reintroduces himself as the Reaper, a relentless, unforgiving warrior seeking redemption and justice. He explains that the betrayal at Survivor Series forged him into a new persona, one that will stop at nothing to reclaim his honour and dismantle those who wronged him. The Reaper begins targeting key figures involved in the Screwjob, starting with Vince McMahon. He confronts him on Raw, delivering an intense promo about betrayal and justice. His new in-ring style is more aggressive and intense, reflecting this transformation. Bret sets his sights on Shawn Michaels, interrupting his matches and cutting chilling promos. Doesn't say anything about industrial promos. The Reaper's presence looms over Michaels, who starts showing signs of fear and paranoia. I think that they've taken that directly from yours. Yeah. D-Generation X attempts to intervene, but Bret systematically takes them down one by one. I think he kind
of did that too.
The Reaper. Yeah. At the Royal Rumble 1988, the Reaper enters with a mission to eliminate Shawn Michaels. Strange, because he wouldn't have been in it because he was champion. He methodically dismantles his opponents. He's done that before. Eventually facing Michaels in a dramatic showdown. Bret eliminates Shawn, securing his spot at WrestleMania and solidifying his path to redemption. The climax of the feud at WrestleMania 14 sees the Reaper, Bret Hart, versus Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship in a Hell in a Cell match, symbolising Bret's journey through hell and back. The match is brutal and personal, filled with high spots and intense moments. Bret's new aggressive style dominates, but Shawn fights back with resilience. Ultimately, Bret Hart's determination and newfound intensity prevail when he defeats Michaels, reclaiming the WWF Championship. Raw's War, post-WrestleMania. The Reaper stands in the ring with the WWF Championship, delivering a powerful promo about redemption, honour, and the strength of overcoming betrayal. He declares that the era of injustice is over, and he will become a champion who upholds the values of wrestling and respect. The storyline ends with Bret Hart solidified as a reinvented, dominant force in the WWF. The Reaper persona allows him to explore deeper, more complex storylines and opens up fresh rivalries and alliances, ensuring his legacy continues in a bold and impactful way.
I don't know if anyone,
Long live the
any
Reaper.
performer, has ever less suited a rebirth as the Reaper. Like, I'm getting vibes of like that owner of WCW that wanted Ric Flair to be Spartacus or something like that.
Amazing. This feels like Dustin Rhodes when they tried to give him that ridiculous gimmick. What was he called? Six or something? No. It wasn't Six, was it? Because that's X-Pac. Can't even. It was 7. It was 7.
7. Oh, so close.
So there you go. You can let us know if you think mine's Adams or Chat GPT's was a.
I tell you, if anyone says Chat GPT's,
I'd quite like to see the Reaper and see what it looked like. Darker ring gear and a short leather jacket
and some stubble.
Aye,
obviously.
I'd like to see Bret with stubble. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That was great. I really liked your book, and I'm sure when we did the invasion angle, we kind of did that together rather than separately, didn't we?
Yeah.
Always good fun doing fantasy booking. I don't know if it's ever good fun listening to other people's fantasy booking, but it's always good fun doing it.
I enjoyed yours. I don't seek out many others to listen to.
Fair enough. So where do we go from here? Fantasy booking non-stop from here on out?
I mean, I'm happy to sprinkle bits of fantasy booking in.
We'll go for a wee... Why don't we go for a wee... if we manage to get to episode 100, let's do another wee fantasy booking episode there.
What are we on just now?
84? A wee celebratory fantasy booking episode. Nice. So I'll keep a hold of my Survivor Series 99 ideas. Until then. Okay, I'll tell you where we're going. We're going to the new generation, Adam. Having not watched any, for the purposes of talking about wrestling, having not watched any WWE, WWF for quite some time now.
Yeah, that's true.
This year? Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, we did TNA and we did the documentaries. Yeah, it must be quite a while.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to go new generation. We're going like both feet in because we are going to just watch Raws and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I remember we did King of the Ring 93, didn't we? And that was when Yokozuna and Hogan fought and
yes.
The guy came up on the ring. Yep. So we'll start from round about there. I think next pay-per-view after that is SummerSlam 1993. So the plan is to start from there. We'll watch SummerSlam 93 next episode and discuss that next episode, and then we'll just get in amongst all the Raws and the pay-per-views.
Nice. Did we do...
Halloween a bit Stewie Griffin there.
That's absolutely... Did we do Halloween Havocs before TNA?
Yes. Yeah, we did.
So we haven't been on WWE for a very, very long time.
Do you want me to check when we last did?
Yeah.
WWE's. Do.
It feels like time to come back. I feel like I'm in a better headspace with the company now.
Nice. The last time we watched a WWE pay-per-view was what we last spoke about is over a year ago, June 2023.
Wow.
New Year's Revolution. Okay. That was Edge's run with the briefcase. Scared us off watching any WWE.
Yes. It wasn't all what we hoped it would be.
No, 2005-06 was pretty awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do New Generation. Do you want me to tell you the SummerSlam 93 card?
Yeah.
Do you know what? This is weird and sort of out of nowhere, but the thought of seeing the young Steiners, in particular a young Scott Steiner, in his pomp, I'm very excited about that.
Oh, nice.
Maybe I'm just like, have you watched SummerSlam?
Yes, I did actually.
So you'll watch Braun Breaker. He's so cool.
I did. Yeah. I assume they're going to go all the way with him. He's going to be a huge star.
Aye. Yeah. SummerSlam 1993. Oof, there's a lot of matches on it. Yes. Okay.
Oh, your eyes lit up there.
Owen Hart. No, that's a dark match. Singles match. Razor Ramon versus Ted DiBiase.
Okay.
WWF World Tag Team Title match. The Steiner Brothers champions versus the Heavenly Bodies with James E. Cornette.
Okay.
Intercontinental title match. Shawn Michaels versus Mr. Perfect. Yes.
Ooh.
IRS versus the 1-2-3 Kid.
Okay.
Bret Hart versus Doink.
Okay.
Followed by Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler.
Oh.
Remember, Lawler attacked him right at the end of his crowning of King of the Ring.
King of the Ring. Yeah. Okay.
Marty Jannetty versus Ludwig Borga. That's the we need to nip to the toilet match. Rest in peace match. Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker.
Oh.
A 6-man tag team match. Bam Bam and the Head Shrinkers versus Tatanka and the Smoking Guns.
Okay.
Yes. And WWF World Heavyweight title match. Yokozuna with James E. Cornette and Mr. Fuji versus Lex Luger.
Okay. That
must be
match is the only thing I remember.
Really?
About that. Yeah.
That must be peak Lex Express.
Oh yes, I think there'll be stuff on the show about the Lex Express.
Amazing. That sounds amazing. I bet it's like we've already talked about this. The Raws are going to be painstaking, but
yeah,
Bastion Booger may be the Goon.
They're really short early on, aren't they?
They're like
the Raws
40 odd minutes.
45 minutes. Yeah.
So luckily for us, we'll get to watch a few.
Yeah. Okay. So we're kicking off. We're doing SummerSlam first, and then we're taking it from there.
Yeah.
Nice.
That sounds fun. That does sound fun. And we get Heenan on commentary, so we're laughing.
Yes. Nice.
Let's go. Before we finish up, get your views on SummerSlam. Do you watch all of it?
Yeah, I watched all of it. I thought it was quite an entertaining show. The only thing that annoyed me, but I think it annoys me in all the shows now. See when I switched to go on to it, I'm hoping for 3 hours. I think it was 3:50 or something like that.
Wow.
And I was thinking, right, I wonder if is this. We seem to have moved away from cramming as many matches as possible on the card.
Definitely.
And I think there were 7 matches, which is fine. I think that is an okay number for a big show. But there was a lot of padding around each match. Like there's adverts for everything all around the matches.
Do you know what threw me? That really weird manscaping advert that they did with Otis shaving his belly or whatever he was doing. But I was just like, this, are we going to get a Blue Chew advert next pay-per-view? It felt like a podcast.
I enjoyed I think that's the first time. No, it's the second time that I've seen Braun Breaker, and I enjoyed that match. Sami Zayn's always very good at getting a bit of sympathy.
They're too good together, actually.
Being beaten up. I'm not that into the story. See, the first match was Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. I'm just not that into the story. I don't know. I could kind of do without it. I understand it. I understand why it's there.
Out of 10, would you give Dom's moustache, though?
Oh, I think that's a pretty solid 8.
Nice.
So yeah, that match is just kind of there, and they're telling a story. That's fine. LA Knight, Logan Paul didn't grab me. I got annoyed during it.
Did you?
Yeah. I think it's always all the nonsense that goes with him. There's always somebody there. There's always prime bottles. There's always something.
I thought, to be honest with you, I've not seen a lot of LA Knight matches. I thought he was brilliant in that match.
They're both good performers. I never like saying it. Logan Paul's incredibly talented.
He is. He's good.
Annoying, but yeah. Drew McIntyre versus Punk. That's fine. Like, they leaned so heavily into the wristband.
It's too
thing.
much, that,
eh? I felt like they did it once and it was fine, and then they went back to it. I was like, no, come on. I enjoyed Gunther and Damian Priest, and I felt like it was a good match, and there was the story element of obviously where that's going. And I'm very happy to see a world title on Gunther. Don't know if it'll stay on him all that long, but I'm very happy to see it.
I'd love to see them do a rematch. I thought Priest was excellent in that match.
I thought it was the best I'd seen Priest, and randomly, what was it I was listening to? I don't know why, because I stopped listening to it. Well, it was the Freddie Prinze Jr. podcast, and he like does predictions of what he thinks is going to happen at the shows, and he'll apply some like storyline logic. And his co-host was a bit like, I'm just not sold on Damien Priest, and Freddie Prinze Jr. was like, I get it, I do get it, but if you listen to his promos recently, he's made a leap. He is all of a sudden improved a lot. So that I think gives some hope for sort of long term near the top of the card position for him.
Do you know what I really liked? The best I thought, like, how stiff they were working was class. Like,
yeah.
But I loved, there was a point where Balor had screwed him, and he saw it on the replay, and Gunther got him in a sleeper, and he managed to escape. And instead of turning around and go for Gunther, he went for the throat of Balor. I was like, yes, that's so amazing.
I liked all of that, and I liked Balor's reaction too, because he knew if he just stood and took that he was getting hit from behind. Like, rather than the panic or run away or anything like that. It's like he's thought about his reaction has to be, well, I just have to put up with this for a few seconds and then he'll lose his belt. I've never been. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the story in WrestleMania and all that, but I'm not a Solo Sikoa guy. And him against Rhodes, obviously, there's a mechanism for the story that they were telling with Roman Reigns coming back. But I don't know. I don't feel it with him as a top of the card guy. Solo Sikoa.
No, I think he'll probably get. He's been overshadowed by Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, who looked like he did himself a bit of an injury, but I'm not sure if he has.
Right.
He came off the turnbuckle through the announce desk on someone.
Owens? Orton?
Might have been Owens, yeah. It was probably one of them. And then he was really selling a leg injury, but I don't know if that was just so he couldn't then get involved. But he was proper doing a good job of selling it.
Right. Sorry, I was just going to say they're in danger of making Cody's match like cameo matches.
Yeah. I feel ready for him to move on to a different challenge, and because obviously you're going to have the two bloodlines, I'm assuming, moving forward, and then is it aiming for a Reigns and Rock match at Mania? Could that be the way that goes?
Yeah.
If Rock's been pulling the strings while Reigns has been away, but I think I'm definitely ready for Cody Rhodes to move on. I'm not sure exactly who to, but just to move on to a different program.
So I saw a wee clip where they've been. Anytime Randy has appeared in the last, since Cody won the title, and when was that? WrestleMania? Just WrestleMania there. Aye. Anytime Randy's been on screen, he's been looking at the title. So despite him turning up and helping Cody out and all that, they may be working towards that, and they've obviously got a history and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that program. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I'm sick of kind of seeing, because it very much feels like Cody Rhodes is now battling the second-rate bloodline.
Totally.
He's already
he's done it all already.
Yeah. But yeah, I've not. I think since I've not watched any TV. I've tried to watch the majority of the pay-per-views. I've not thought at the end of any that was a terrible show. They've all had moments in them, and bits and pieces of storyline and things like that. So I'm fairly enjoying it, but at the same time, I'm not like absolutely desperate to watch everything as it comes on. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. But I watched SummerSlam yesterday afternoon.
I feel like I've kind of had my fill of the McIntyre, Rollins, Punk stuff. It's all very repetitive, and we don't want you here. And
yeah, I think I preferred the idea of that whole program without Rollins. Just have it be McIntyre and Punk, and I almost wondered if they were keeping Rollins involved just in case there's another injury or something like that. And they need to have somewhere to go. There is a natural story between him and Rollins, and I get that, but you can do one at a time. You can. I feel like there was enough there for Punk and McIntyre, and they'd done that side of it pretty well.
Aye, I agree. I'd much rather have seen Rollins involved with Roman Reigns at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe this
could still happen, I suppose. Yeah.
Do you think he'll be booked as a babyface, Roman Reigns?
I think so. I I think he's going to get positive reactions for a while unless he does something particularly heelish. And even then, I think he would still maybe get some positive reaction. I'm assuming they'll align Heyman back with him, and Heyman is usually your classic heel sidekick. But I think folk kind of love him.
It's amazing to think that they've managed to get to a point where Heyman getting put through the table has like got solo heat and all that.
Yeah.
Fair play to Heyman, he's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, the next pay-per-view they're doing is in Berlin. So it's a good crowning moment for old Gunther.
Yeah, so they're not going to have him lose his title there, are they? That'd be a bit much.
Give him... I can't even imagine who they would... I assume they're going to keep Rollins and... Well, obviously Rollins and Punk stay together. Maybe Drew. Drew just have a chop fest.
Priest needs to now go away and have a program with Finn Balor. So yeah.
Him and Rhea and versus whoever's left in the Judgment Day, Carlito and Finn Balor.
I love the idea of one of them trying to continue it like it's a thing.
Carlito and Dom, just them two, and Liv Morgan.
Yeah, she annoys me as well, but I understand the storyline. I get it, but I don't know. I just find her quite irritating.
Did you see Stephanie McMahon acting incredibly unnatural in the crowd?
No, I don't think I picked up on that.
They were like, "Steph's here," and she was like, just like doing that like crazy smile that she does, and like clapping where there was no music or anything. So it's a bit weird. Why she sat on her own?
That is pretty weird.
Anyway, we'll have no issues we're having to worry about. I think the only McMahon we'll come across is Vince on commentary, I would think, round about 93. So
yeah, that's probably right.
I think we'll get Red Blazer Vince.
Get what, sorry?
Red Blazer Vince. What a manoeuvre.
Oh, maybe. We're going to get his constant, almost a pinfall things.
Modified.
What? I got him. No.
Amazing. Well, that was a great episode. Well played here. Your fantasy booking was fantastic. I think I'll submit that to Bruce Pritchard and see if we can get you.
I am available for work.
Get you on the staff. Well, I'll send it to Tony Khan as well if you want.
I am fine with that. Yeah.
You and Dean Malenko,
a nice lengthy
crafting.
Contract.
Aye,
I think, and then if I need to get paid off, that so be it.
Excellent.
I won't quit my job quite yet. I'll wait. I'll wait a wee bit. Nah. It shows
intent. Like, it shows really good intent.
Yeah.
Trust in yourself.
I have to. What they used to say in Friends? You have to have the fear.
Yeah.
You have to currently I don't have the fear.
What you need is a fear boner. No?
Oh, it's just one of those phrases I don't hear that often, and then when you hear it, it gets me.
Right, in 2 weeks we'll be back in 1993. We'll be full of young, hip and cool, new generation energy. Until then, take it easy.
Cheers.